Hi everybody, this is SJWs Attack with a quick story for February 20th, 2017. Today we're looking at Not My President Day, the stupidest holiday I've ever heard of. Today, thousands of people in the US are acting like children again and protesting a president who won a fair nomination by running around with signs, getting arrested, causing havoc, as well as costing lots of tax dollars, in an effort to try and undermine the government of the United States of America. I absolutely adore people like Maria, 23, of Yonkers, New York, said she attended the rally because of President Trump's immigration policies and the specter of authoritarianism. Now look, if you're in authoritarianism, you're going to know you're in authoritarianism, because you're not going to be able to do anything. If you're running around half nude with signs in the street, you're not in an authoritarian, dictatorial government. I'm sorry, you're just not. You're not even close. Monica Lim of Brooklyn said Trump's attitude towards Muslims reminded her of Asian exclusion legislation of the late 19th and early 20th centuries in the United States. Really? Because that's insane. She's quoted as saying, "It was the yellow peril then, and it is now the hijab peril." Oh my god. So now we have a hijab peril. The government is taking away the hijabs from the women's. Unbelievable. America, what are you doing? Seriously. Seriously, what are you doing? There's no hijab peril. Nobody's taking away your hijabs. You could become a Muslim. You can wear a hijab. That's totally fine. What you can't do is immigrate to Iran and then come back in the next 90 days. What are we at now? In the next 80 days? 75 days? 75 days. What are we at? 75 days? Sorry for the inconvenience. They're trying to fix the immigration policies. Idiots. John Winterton said he was most worried about Trump's attitude towards the press. This is the one that blew my mind. Pointing to a row of television trucks present to cover the rally, he said, "They're here to shine light on the truth, not to create fake news." Yeah, John, but you're only there because of them. This is a vicious circle of nonsense being perpetrated by the media and elites. You are a sheep. You have to start paying attention to what's actually happening. He continues, "Sometimes they get things wrong, but they usually correct it quickly, and the overall performance of the media in this country is truthful. It's not fake news." Bullshit. Bullshit. We've seen the news making up multiple stories in the last few days, in the last few years. Every other story has half-truths in it, or just complete fiction. They barely ever update articles, and when they do, they don't really make it clear, and they very rarely come out and actually admit they're wrong. You can see this in the PewDiePie story in my first video. All the media doubled down. All the cowards who wrote the article went into hiding instead of actually discussing it with anybody. You will never hear about it again from them. They're complete losers. They're complete cowards. Their businesses are failing. They're going to be gone. It's just a matter of time. So sorry, John. No, they're complete fake news. You're getting fictional information. That's not to say you're getting 100% the truth from Trump either, because you're not. And half the time he doesn't even know what he's talking about. But it's still far more truthful than what's coming out of the news. Beyond that, we've got Janice Rosenberg of Manhattan, who fears the rise of Trump and other right-wing leaders could portend a return to the kind of dictatorial regimes that result in the deaths of several relatives in the Holocaust. So, to me, what they're saying here is anybody who's right-wing that gets into government is a Nazi. That's what they're saying. And I think that's what the media is trying to portray it as, too. This is pretty clear, too, because Trump is the most left Republican I've ever seen. And I'm pretty centralist, but man, Trump is very left-wing for a Republican. So I have no idea what this woman is talking about. I like to think Trump will be held back by checks and balances of American system, but other countries are not as fortunate as we are in having a firm constitution and the virus can spread. So she's worried about Trump taking over other countries. I don't even know what to say. That's so retarded. I don't even know what. The only reason why right-wing governments are growing in other countries as well right now is because left-wing governments in the US and elsewhere went and bombed a bunch of nations into the Stone Age and created a shit ton of refugees. Those refugees have flooded out, and they've flooded into Europe and other places in numbers that could have been avoided had Germany and other places put more pressure on the Middle East to take their own damn refugees in, places like Saudi Arabia. But no, they avoided conflict, and as such, it's resulted in all kinds of problems all over the place. That has absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump. Zero. In the crowd, a lone Trump supporter with a red Make America Great Again baseball cap had a mixture of heated and lighthearted exchanges with protesters. As the exchanges grew more heated, television crews, photographers, and reporters gathered to witness the scene. Well, on the plus side, at least they're not calling this person a Nazi. So that's a start, I guess. In LA, hundreds of protesters descended on City Hall chanting, "Not my president!" Mike Schultz of Los Angeles said, "Fear is contagious." Who painted his face orange? Oh my god. This one's great. Oh my god. "Fear is contagious," said Mike Stutz of Los Angeles, who painted his face orange and sported orange fever placards. "It can really destroy what we believe in as an American dream," he said. "Don't catch the orange fever. Embrace your fellow man. Don't reject your fellow man." Unbelievable. In a pink pussy hat, Marilyn Durr of Manhattan Beach, California said, "Everyone deserves a chance in this country. We're all immigrants." So, okay, so what is this? Complete open borders? Again, why doesn't California just try and become part of Mexico then? I don't understand. This is the same thing as all these celebrities during the election who are coming out saying, "Oh, we're going to move to Canada." It's like, why? Why Canada? If you really want most of Mexico to come to the United States, if you really want most of Mexico to come to the United States, why don't you just move to Mexico? It's much nicer than up here. Most of the year. Oh, what, you want free benefits and social policies? Oh, well, why don't you go down there and change Mexico? I just don't understand. Today, the biggest protests seem to be in Portland, Oregon again, which is really becoming a nightmare, but police seem pretty on point in Portland now. They don't seem to be messing around. There's been quite a few videos of arrests and other protests recently, and this one seems to be no exception, with trucks full of cops just getting on beating people off the street or physically grabbing them and arresting them. It doesn't matter how old or how young they are. And this is a good stance. This is much better than Berkeley. At least they're not seeing their city destroyed by these crazies. So that's a start. So thank you very much for joining me again for another quick story, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. Cheers.